Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-August 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Sagittarius collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the lovely Saggies in mid-August 2026? It is still Leo season at the moment, my good friends. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Sagittarius mid-August. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out here nice and quick. We're going to have ourselves some fun, my friends. There we go. Cool. So we have the Little Mermaid showing up. I haven't seen her in quite a while. All right, this is beautiful. I really like this card for a lot of reasons. Now, obviously, with every card and energy, there's going to be ups and downs. But this is just beautiful. I always get pumped when this card shows up because there's a lot of potential. It's like super imaginative, and it is a card that looks towards the future. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the August subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about this lovely card more in depth. And as you can see, we have what looks to be Ariel, the red-headed mermaid, under the sea, beautiful seascape. We see all like it's just beautiful. I think it could be a painting on a wall. But she's also in this bubble, right? And her head is in the clouds, so there's depth to it. Now, if you've ever seen The Little Mermaid, I'm sure many of you have, she is in a good place, but there's somewhere else she'd rather be, right? That might be a literal quote from the movie. So when I see this, it's like, okay, even if things are cool, even if things seem fine right now, like we could get a little better. There might be room for improvement. This card gives me Nine of Pentacles vibes, where it's like, yeah, we're good, everything's all right, but there's more to be had. So I like it for that. For a lot of Saggies, maybe you're looking towards the future here, where it's like, okay, I'm going to stay grounded in the present, but let's plan for what's to come. So I like the forward look. The only downside with this card is that it could be a little too much in its head, a little too daydreamy, a little too imaginative. The whole grass is always greener on the other side type of thinking, right? That's another big theme in the Little Mermaid movie, right? Where she thinks if she just gets on land, like life would be perfect, and then she runs into a whole bunch of stuff. But I would say just watch out for the overthinking when this card is here. It's good for creative stuff, but we're going to let Ariel chill out right there. She's having a moment, probably singing a song. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Saggies. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was communication based, which was a big theme for all the fire signs last week. And your reading was titled An Unexpected Talk. So there can be a whole variety of different ways that can show up, whether it's a conversation with somebody I wasn't expecting to talk to, or a topic I wasn't expecting to address, or one of those conversations where it's like, is this real life? So just know that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks, or you might be having a lot of wild, out of the blue types of conversations. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? It's just an energetic weather report, my good friends. Let's see what's happening for my Saggies. Thank you. Okay. All right. So we're going to need to look at this a little bit further. I don't necessarily always go worst case scenario when the devil leads off a reading, but it's worth noting. It is like a very material-based type of energy. Yeah. Okay. Maybe there is a shift coming. I like this, the Knight of Wands. We need one more just to be sure that the energy is moving where I think it is. Let's get one more here for the Saggies, please. We have in mid-August. Knight of Swords. All right, cool. All right. This energy is really unique, the way it's presenting itself. Now, we have a lot of different elemental action here. Notice it's like they're going towards the devil, so it's like, all right, now we're going to face this head on. I think that's interesting. Now, before we fully dive into that, I'm just going to look at the elements real quick, because I feel like that really builds a nice foundation before we get into the classical meanings and archetypes. And first look, first glance, we have three different ones. That's pretty cool. If there's too much of one element, it could get a little too lopsided, right? We got earth, fire, air. Nice. These two energies are specifically good for Sagittarius, the fire and the air. Now, when it comes to earth, that is of the earthly realm, right? So we do think of things like stability and security, whether it's internal or external. We think of routine, we think of everyday life, money, work, business, home, finance. So the material world itself is heavily encapsulated, especially with the devil card. That's like a double down of that energy. So earth energy could be good. It's predictable. It's nice. The only downside to it is that it's a very slow mover. It's an energy that doesn't go too quickly. So again, watch out for things that are a little frustrating to you, where it's like, this energy is just super heavy. That's the downside to Earth. But it is great for work, career, and all that kind of stuff. Over to the center, we have your power element under your power card. We have the wands, aka fire. Now, fire is the realm of action. So, whether it's actions you take, actions other people take, actions that you want to take, I say it's high vibrational frequency. It's always zipping and zooming and wanting to expand, which is pretty good. Could deal with health and wellness and energy levels. So, just watch. If you've been feeling a little down, maybe you're going to be feeling up. But watch out for fluctuations there. The only downside with fire is that it could be a little unpredictable. It could be very hard to contain. And as a fire sign yourself, you're probably good with dealing with this. It's an energy that rolls with the punches, whereas Earth doesn't really do that. On the back end, we have air, complementary. So fire and air work together well. I always say that these two energies are like peanut butter and jelly. They're very explosive, and that doesn't mean a bad thing. It's like one feeds the other, if that makes sense. Now, when it comes to air, that's the realm of the mind. It's very logical, pragmatic, strategic, planned out. It's about information. So whether it's giving information or receiving it, that's why this is the suit of communication. The only downside to the air is that it could be too much in its head. So that theme that we had with Ariel could be in play here. Watch out for the overthinking, or it could just be cold. But when we look at the picture here, it's like these two are teaming up to go against this thing, or like these are all action and communication. This thing is standing firm. So we got an intriguing mix. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, the devil. It has a lot of familiarity with the element itself because it encapsulates it, right? And we see this devil there with the little demons, or they're in chains, right? So it's like the devil has mastery over them. Now, in the positive sense, because any card has positives. If you're not connected to Capricorn, if you don't have Capricorn placements, and again, Capricorn gets this card due to the goat symbolism alone. This energy is great for money. It is. It's great for money. It's great for like material things and possessions. So again, if your focus is there, the devil could be good for that, like improvements in the material world. But let's not make this something it's not. The devil can be problematic. The devil can be a problem. It can be something that seems to linger or stick around. Normally, it's something that's been around for a while because once the devil's energy is here, it stays. Like it's hard to push through. Like this is an energy that does not want to change. Watch out for things like addictions. Watch out for things like jealousy, possessiveness. Like all that can be in play with this card. Not saying you're expressing this, but the devil can be problematic. So we need to keep an eye on it and see if it's a warning or maybe it is a good thing. Who knows? Now, moving to the middle, we have the Knight of Wands. As you know, on top of it being one of your power element cards, it is a Sagi power card. So in my simplistic style of reading, it could just, when we clarify it, tell us something that's coming towards you or what you might be feeling. Now, what are knights? If they're not representing people, knights represent action and communication. So the suit is action, the card is action. It is a double down of action, and it was heading straight for this guy right here. So we need to clarify this for sure. It's fiery, and normally it's good. It's like high energy, high vibration, life of the party. We really like the Knight of Wands. Um, but at the same time, it could be very unpredictable. This could be a live wire. It's like a risk it for the biscuit type of energy where it's like, yeah, I'm just going to do it. Like it's an energy that can take action without fully thinking something through. So we need to keep an eye on him. But yeah, notice how it looks like the Knight of Wands is teaming up with somebody because right behind the Knight of Wands, he's got a little bit of backup. We got the Knight of Swords, big air sign energy. So whether it's a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, same thing. It might tell us something about them or what's in their vibe. But again, action, communication. This is the fastest. So, like when we combine the Knight of Wands and Knight of Swords, those are the two fastest of the four knights. Very, very intense. And it looks like they're pushing against this devil energy. So we need to see what this energetic tension is that I'm picking up right here in the front. Now, the Knight of Swords, in the good sense, it's quick, it's rapid, it's fast. It's going towards something like a rocket. Tons of determination. Nothing's going to slow me down. It's quick, zipping and zooming, even faster than the Knight of Wands. But the downside to the Knight of Swords is that sometimes he could be a little aggressive. Same with the Knight of Wands. It could be a little confrontational, right? Like he's going into battle. So we need to see what's going on. There's a huge intensity building up, especially with these two knights. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Saggy. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for our Saggy friends? What's happening? And yes, this is where I go into it with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the devil, see what these individuals are up to after that. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Saggy, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the devil here? Why is the devil here? Okay, I mean, this energy is just super, super planted for some reason. So we do have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse underneath it. Now, the Ten of Pentacles does carry that very heavy, earthy type of energy, similar to the devil. So it's like this thing is front and center. This thing, this situation, it is front and center right in front of me. I'm not, some of you might not like it too much. Others, it's like, it is what it is. What are you going to do about it? Like, there's part of that. So whether it is a situation, whether it is a problem, it's like, all right, it is there, but what are we going to do about it? That's what I come to when we get to the knights on the back end. Now, the Ten of Pentacles can represent home, living situation, can represent family. Normally in the upright, this is one of the best cards of wins or victories. So, and it's earthy, it's in place. So when I see it in reverse, underneath the devil, either this is something that is very slowly progressing, like super slow, like at a snail's pace. So for some of you, that could be frustrating. So watch out for things that are just moving at a snail's pace for some reason. Or this could be a problem or a situation where it's like, okay, well, that's there. Now what do I do about it? Right? Like it's identified. That's the big thing. Whether it's something that's been there for a long time or something that will be there for a while, it's like, okay, we see it, it's there. How are we going to handle business? What next? That's the energy that's showing up to me. Now, again, this could be somebody else you're connected to. They might be in problem solving mode. That's very possible. But hopefully, you're not feeling grounded either, right? Like with the devil and Ten of Pentacles in reverse, it's like, there's this thing I want, or there's this thing I want to do, but I feel like I can't. It also feels like I'm being forced to deal with something or forced into something. So watch out for that. And something I know about Saggy energy, that is something that does not usually rub a Saggy the right way, where it feels like you're being forced to do this or forced to do that. But hey, sometimes things like that pop up, right? Let's keep moving. Let's see what's up with the Knight of Wands. It's like I'm being forced to address this, or I'm being forced to participate in this, whatever it is. So why is the Knight of Wands here? Let's see. Because, yeah, the fire-air combination, we're going to... Because I think we had something a couple of weeks ago that was very similar to what I'm seeing with the Knights. So why is the Knight of Wands here? Thank you. Okay. I like the approach. I really like the approach. So we have the Knight of Wands with the Nine of Cups. It's like, well, someone's got to do something about it. That's how it feels, where it's like, all right, well, if they're not going to do something about it, I'm going to do something about it. This energy is definitely like a pull yourself up by the bootstraps, where it's like, all right, well, something's got to get handled. The situation, the problem, whatever it is, needs to be addressed. Someone's got to do it. Might as well be me, even if it's not the nicest job. I don't know who this is. Maybe some of you, that's it. Now, I will say there's something about the approach that I like, because the Knight of Wands with the Nine of Cups is trying to assume the best. It's trying to think best case scenario. So there could be this energy here for a lot of Saggies where it's like, hey, even if you're staring this situation or this problem down like right to its face, you need to assume that it's going to work in your favor. Where it's like you have to assume the best. I saw something very similar in the Aries reading this week. So the power of perspective, power of mindset, power of framing, super, super important. But this energy right here feels like it's going to handle business. I'm telling you that. So whatever this is, whether it is a problem or a serious situation or whatever label we want to put on it, this Knight of Wands and Nine of Cups is like, all right, well, it's got to get handled at some point, so I might as well do it. I might as well rip off the Band-Aid, so to speak. So we're going to keep going. I think that can be good. I do think it's good. I wouldn't say this energy is 100% happy about it, but it looks like it's going to do something about it. Let's keep going. Let's see what's up with the Knight of Swords. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the Knight of Swords here for my Saggies? Why is the Knight of Swords here, please? Okay. Yeah, this is like reinforcements. It is. All right, so we have the Eight of Pentacles in the upright underneath this Knight of Swords. It's like once someone starts, it's like a chain effect where it's like, do it, recruit help, get someone to help you. It's like a two heads are better than one type of situation where if there is this thing, problem situation you're dealing with, whether it's someone that amps you up, whether it's someone that gives you advice or someone that actively helps you here. Like when I see the Knight of Swords with Eight of Pentacles, it's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get down to business. Where it's like one person just needs to start it and then every domino starts to fall. So that's good. Now, the Eight of Pentacles could represent work and business. You see the person there represents building and effort, right? Even when we look at it in the realm of relationships, it represents fixing things and putting effort into stuff. If it was in reverse, that's an energy that could say, all right, you're on your own, too. See you later. But in the upright, especially under this one, it's like these two energies are together approaching this problem or situation. Two heads are better than one. The efforts of the two are better than the one. That's just how it feels. So again, if you're going through something, dealing with something that whether you're feeling forced to deal with it, whether it's something that's not too happy, it's like I need to recruit assistance here. Okay, so whether it's like a professional, whether it's a friend, a family, it doesn't matter. It's like two heads are better than one. Let's attack this thing together. So there's like a teaming up on something too, which again, hopefully that's a good thing. Hopefully you're not getting teamed up on, but I think the result is actually really good. This could be something that pays off in the end, right? Like with the combination and intention, I feel like this is something that can pay off in the end. But let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadows. Super unique, lots of specifics. So again, only take it if it hits for you. Love the back end of this reading, but we got a little something here on the front end. We have the Devil with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, very planted, very firm. I did say whether this is something that's been around for a while or just like a problem or a situation where it's like staring you right in the face. It's like, all right, well, it's there. What am I going to do about it? It needs to get solved at some point. It doesn't feel like there's a frantic rush about it, but it's like, nah, it is very slow moving. But the energy is like, nah, we got to face this. Like, we got to tackle this thing, whatever it is. Moving to the center, and watch out for feeling forced too. Like it's like, I wish I didn't have to deal with this. But in the center, we have the Knight of Wands with the Nine of Cups and the upright. I like it. Now, I did say this could be about framing, how you frame a situation, the perspective and how you do it. Like mindset is very powerful and important. So I guess depending on the situation, this might be easier than like sometimes it might be easy, sometimes not so much. But the Knight of Wands with the Nine of Cups is also a pull yourself up by the bootstraps type of energy too, where it's like, all right, well, someone's got to do it. Might as well do it now. Or it's going to happen eventually. Might as well handle it right now. Like it's an energy that dives in, if that makes sense, or it attacks. On the back end, we have the Knight of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, and it's like once this energy starts making moves, this one helps. So whether it's spirit saying, hey, get some assistance, get some outside help. Maybe someone's going to ask you for assistance or help with something. That's very possible. But it's like two heads are better than one, combining forces to take care of this thing. There's like a teaming up process. And there's also a payoff in the end, which I think is good. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. And I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this shadow card out. What do we got in the shadows here for Saggy? Please. Okay. Cool, we'll take it. Ace of Wands. So yeah, I like the Ace of Wands, especially in a Saggy reading. I always say aces to me represent offers, opportunities, and open doors. So that's always a great sign, even in the shadows. But what do we know about the Ace of Wands? It's kind of like a mini tower. It can be about communication, conversation. So when I see it in the shadows with all this kind of stuff, just watch out for any conversations that get a little intense or out of hand, right? That's something to always watch out for here. But it can also be about energy levels. The Ace of Wands is about one's vitality and how much energy they have to do certain things. So watch out for fluctuations where there might be one day where you're feeling like pie in the sky, amazing, right? But there might be some days where it's like, I don't want to get out of bed. Watch out for those energetic swings when this shows up. We're just going to put that down right there, my beautiful Saggy friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the August subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The August calendar is up and spots go quick, so you might want to check that out. But for the August subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 winners at random to either choose the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, which is an absolutely stunning deck, or one of the custom-made crystal pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards that showed up in your reading today, which one intrigued you the most? Which one caught your attention and why? And you put that in the comments, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab / post tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.